All right, welcome to 413 Barbell Club Radio. Yes, I changed the name. And today I'm going to talk about my secret to not missing. This is how I, in the busiest part of my life, still got my workouts done, sometimes even still got cardio done, still got my meals prepped and all that stuff. This is how I didn't miss. And the cool thing is, all you guys have access to this tool, and there's tools available to you to use, and sometimes we're not using them, or we're not using them properly. And so I'm just going to tell you what my daily schedule was, because and this is a limited belief, a common thing I see is that guys say, I'm too busy right now in this season, but don't worry, in a few months things should calm down and they'll be better. And spoiler alert, life has this way of always throwing something at you. And so, maybe there's going to be a repair or a remodel in your house, and there's going to be something new you're working on. So there's always going to be something. Your kids are going to decide they want to play baseball this year, and so you're going to be down at the baseball field a lot each night. There's always going to be something. And so that's what I want to help you do, is say, okay, how can I make the most of the time I do have? All right, now, before I do that, I wanted to make a few announcements. First of all, I did a 4-day challenge last week. These 4-day challenges are free. And then obviously in 4 days, what kind of change can you see in your body? I'll have guys lose 3 to 5 pounds sometimes in those 4 days. Some of that obviously is water weight from making some changes, dropping some things, taking their workouts more seriously, drinking more water. However, it's not about the change. It's about, I decided a winner by who was all in, and this challenge was the all in challenge, and who was the most of a team player, who posted their takeaways from my classes I do. It's more of an educational experience. I want to teach you and give you, in these challenges, I give you my blueprint and how I, stay on track. So the winner of this challenge was Christian Dowdle. Christian, I met him, if I'm not mistaken, he goes to Hillsong Church in New York. And I saw him, he tagged that church in a post. I was like, oh, do you go to church there? And we got to talking months ago. And anyway, he ended up joining my challenge. And he gave some awesome takeaways from my classes. So shout out to Christian. Also last week, I had a 6-week challenge end. It was the first time I've ever ran a 6-week challenge, the Holy Hustle. And FYI, anytime, if you're like, when's the next one? I'm deciding, I'm going to let you guys know soon. But these challenges, full disclosure, they're $300 basically. If you catch an early bird deal, they're less. And that's for 6 weeks of online coaching, that's a very, very, very affordable price in the industry. And you get a workout on my app. You get access to the messenger to ask me questions. You get access to my private trainings, access to the private forum and club on the app, where a lot of the education and mindset shifts happen. And you get a custom nutrition plan. So the changes were really killer. And my top 3 had really good results. But one guy stood out, especially because of what a team player he was. And in this time, he was a really big part of the community. And that's what I like to see. And I always tell people, you get what you put into it. So Paul Renda really put a lot into the community. And he won the 6-week Holy Hustle. So Paul gets 1 free month of premium coaching. This means it's a pretty good step up from the challenge. You get check-ins each week. That way, we're making a weekly adjustment. And it's not just, well, we'll kind of do this, we'll kind of do that. You get a weekly adjustment. So you're guaranteed, the guys that do this and they do the homework and they check in with me, the results are just automatic. So I'm pumped for Paul. He made good progress in the challenge. He's going to make even better progress this next 5 weeks. Also, one more real quick before I get into this, I want to give a quick shout out to one of my clients, Jonathan, that started after New Year's. He just messaged me this over the weekend. I was asking him how things were going. He said, I can't believe how much better I can move and how better I feel each morning waking up. I told you I was concerned about some of the barbell movements early on, and you helped me make them work for my body, and I love being pain-free. Being down a few pounds feels great as well. Can't wait to see where I am this summer. Like, he sent me that over the weekend. I was like, can I share that? Like, did you mean to just give? And he's like, yeah, share it, man. I wanted you to. So that's the thing, guys. So many people, and I did a podcast about this last Monday. You have a goal, and instead of taking the most direct path to that goal, you're over here doing this, like, hey, I'm going to do CrossFit. Hey, I found this guy online that does this really cool stuff. But it's that cool stuff specific to your goal. The shortest distance to get to where you want to be is just a straight line, right? And we're not taking that specific straight line. We're taking the scenic route. And there's so much junk on the internet. So much crazy, like, oh, try this, you'll get a good pump. Try this functional workout. Try this circuit. Like, you don't need that. You just need what's specific to you, your goal, and your schedule. Speaking of scheduling, here we go. I want to show you how I didn't miss. All right. Now, if you're watching this, let me know if you have a Google account. How many of you have a Google account? And when you go to your Google account, there's a little app box icon. You click it. Oh wait, I'm on Facebook. Facebook has that too. I go to Google. I'm just doing it right now on my laptop. And I see Gmail, my account, Google search, Google Drive, Docs, Google Maps, Google Play, Google Calendar. There we go. Google Calendar is something I live by. And I'm going to talk about this, and some of you are going to be like, well, sorry, man, that's just not my style. I don't like living by my calendar. I like to live more free. I don't like, and I need to remind you of something and give you a little tough love. It's not about what you like. It's not how you were born. It's not about your tendencies. Sometimes just because you're a certain way doesn't mean you're fine that way. You need to change. You need to step up and be better. And that's a reality check we all deal with sometimes in different areas of our life. Just because you've been born away doesn't mean God wants you to stay that way. And God will give you the persistence and the ability to overcome that. And I know a lot of you like to live by the, just whatever, live on the fly. But if you're serious about making progress as a really busy person, like as a busy dad, you've got to add more structure to your day. And you've got to get a little Spartan with your daily routine. And that's just going to make things easier on you. And how you talk about it is going to matter. Some people will try to label it and say, this is boring, this is that. No, it's not boring when you 4 months later, 5, 6 months later, whatever, you're sitting there with a six-pack and you've achieved something you've been trying your whole life to achieve. That's not boring. That's called the best summer of your life. So let's stop calling things and doing these limited self-beliefs by thinking things about ourselves that aren't true. I'm going to show you when I was teaching school, which the commute and everything, so it was a 30-minute drive to my school, plus grading papers. And this is not when I was coaching. I coached basketball for a few years, so this is just teaching, not coaching. I was putting 50 hours a week into the job. This is, again, not when I was coaching, because I was coaching, it was much more. Basketball coaching, I mean. Then after I coached basketball, I started this in 2015, 413 Barbell Club, started in-person trainer. It shifted to online, and I was, very busy. I'm going to give you my daily routine right here. And I put this routine into Google Calendar, and I set it up to remind myself 15 minutes before everything. So the major events, I would get a notification at 15 minutes out. Here we go. First of all, this was on my calendar, but I didn't get a notification, obviously, because notifications were turned off. I was sleeping. 4 a.m. wake up. So on my Google Calendar, I gave myself like 5 minutes to wake up, get some water, pour my coffee. At 4:05 to 4:15, I was doing my morning devotion and morning routine. This was non-negotiable. This was, unless I'd been kidnapped or abducted by aliens, I was in here at my desk, reading my Bible, praying, and writing down my daily affirmations and daily intentions in my journal. Okay, I don't care if I didn't sleep good, if I stayed up late, whatever, it was going to happen. That's the kind of tenacity and resiliency you have to learn to develop if you're serious. And that's the problem. A lot of times we're not serious. We just kind of have a wish list. Well, I'd like to see abs. I'd like to do this. But, you know, if it means I have to give up binging Netflix, or it means I have to actually wake up when I say I'm going to wake up, I'm okay. And like, God's called you to a higher standard than that. I believe that. That's very mediocre thinking. God didn't design you to be mediocre. So get your butt up at 4 a.m. or whatever time it is. Just whenever you say you're going to wake up, wake up. And then from 4:15 to 4:45-ish, I was checking in on my clients, seeing who had missed a workout the day before. Now, if you're not online coaching, you don't have to do that part. Maybe you can wake up at 4:30, do your devotion, and still get to the gym at 5. So again, this was just my personal schedule. And this, you know, checking in on my clients was in on my Google Calendar. So as I'm doing my devotion, I get a notification, hey, don't forget at 4:15, you're going to start checking in on your clients. At 5 o'clock, sometimes a little after, I would arrive at the gym and I would lift. And I would leave at 5:45 because it took me 15 minutes to get home. And at 6 a.m., I needed to start breakfast, which would be what I call an egg shake. It's banana, egg whites, maybe some pasteurized eggs, some frozen mango or frozen strawberries, frozen pineapple, whatever it was, some frozen fruit that acted as ice cubes as well, and my scoop of creatine monohydrate, plain, unflavored. Sometimes I would add some ground flax seeds, sometimes I would add some spinach. It all just depended on the day. And I would drink that, take a shower, and I would leave the house at 6:45 because it was a 35-minute drive to work, and I had to be there at 7:15. So leave the house at 6:45. And the school day was 7:15 to 3:15. That's when I had to be there. At 9:30, I had it set in my Google Calendar during my planning period, eat brunch. And so I would eat brunch. At 12, I would eat lunch. That was in my calendar. And while I was eating lunch, I always had some like educational videos, whether it was my performance nutrition coach trainings that I was, getting my performance nutrition certification from Clean Health, a really good institution, by the way. If you're interested in being a personal trainer, online coach, nutrition coach like me, I highly recommend Clean Health. Their courses are awesome, next level, far beyond what you get. And my full disclosure, my personal training certification lowered my IQ when it comes to training. It's kind of scary, the stuff that isn't in there, because of all the formality stuff they teach you. As far as just actual being a good trainer, there's not a lot there. And that's why when people say, well, I'd rather work with an in-person trainer, I'm like, because I know how easy it was, and it kind of scares me. I just wanted to put that out there. So I would eat lunch, do some kind of educational, watch something as I ate lunch, because I knew, well, I'm grateful for my time as a teacher. I learned a lot. It was good to give back. I knew that wasn't my career long term. And so I needed to make the most of my day. So instead of just like taking lunch completely off, I needed to use that 30 minutes. It was crucial to use it towards furthering my education. And at 3 o'clock, when school was finally over, I'd have another protein snack, and I would, at like 3:15, 3:25, 3:30, whatever, drive home. I'd get back by 4. So that protein snack was also in my Google Calendar. I would get home and spend time with the family. Sometimes that meant going outside. Sometimes that meant, playing something inside with the girls. Maybe they'd have homework in kindergarten. Don't get me started on that, on homework. By the way, I was the cool teacher. I never gave homework unless I was just absolutely forced to. If you can't learn what you need to learn by 3:15 every day, but anyway, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. I was the anti-teacher. I went in every day feeling like a villain. Honestly, I was so against everything. But anyway, don't get me started on that. At 4, I was playing with the girls and everything. At 5, normally we'd eat dinner, and sometimes after dinner we'd go for a walk, especially if I was like, hey, I need some more steps today. And I would adjust this is a big thing. In my calendar, I had like bedtime snack, right? My bedtime snack would depend, like if dinner was really carb heavy, because I don't have like prepped food for dinner. I'll just eat whatever the family has and stop when I'm like 80% full if I'm on a cut. And if I noticed the carbs were a little heavy, I would do something with light carbs or no carbs for bedtime snack. If I noticed it was heavier on fats or low or medium on carbs, I would have something with no fats at dinner, and I would give myself carbohydrates. Of course, always protein. So bedtime snack, and then the bedtime routines, the baths, all that, stories, brush your teeth, 6:30ish to 8, and then sleep by 8, hopefully. In the event I was deep in a cut or doing a contest prep, if I did cardio, I didn't do it at the gym in the mornings because I was training fasted, and I just felt like doing cardio after that was just too much stress and would raise my cortisol too much. I just wanted to get the workout done as quick as possible, get home and eat. So I would do, if there was cardio, I would do it after the kids went to bed, sometimes just outside in my neighborhood, from like 8:15 to 8:45, then take a shower and go to bed by 9, hopefully. And that was a day, because then you wake up at 4 the next morning. Google Calendar was just the same every day, this carbon copy, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with my non-negotiables. And non-negotiable means non-negotiable. So how did I never miss? What's my secret? My secret is just simply I had a plan, and I put that plan into Google Calendar. That's the tool I used. It would send me a notification every 15 minutes before to remind me, and I would do it. And again, guys, it doesn't matter if that's like not your style. It's a matter of saying, I need to do this. And what's going to make it easier? What's going to make it easier is doing the same thing every day. Repetition, consistency. I know so many people on a routine or on a plan, an exercise plan, that on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it like a 3. But because they're consistent with it, they're getting better results than maybe you are on a better plan. But the problem is that better plan you only do for a little while, and then you try something else. You get programmed ADHD, and you skip around, or you just stop going altogether. And it's like, and this is going to be a future piece of content I have coming out. I believe it comes out this week. I'm talking about guys that, I did my meal prep and all you see is chicken and broccoli. Like, you're doing it wrong. That is so unsustainable. Just chicken and broccoli. How long do you really think you stick to that? And then you just, next thing you know, you fall off. It's not about, while food quality matters, chicken and broccoli isn't the only good quality food. There's lots of foods you could be eating that are healthy, that are nutrient dense, that you could put in there. And then it's about the amount you eat and getting that amount just right, like baby bear's porridge. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. And if you do that, you'll lose the fat. But you got to be consistent with it. So that's the big thing, consistency. And this Google Calendar concept I used helped me be more consistent, because I had it written down and it was like there holding me accountable. Now, speaking of that, before I hop off here today, if you want help being more accountable, just DM me the word FaithFit. That's my keywords, because I want to help you grow spiritually while also helping you finally achieve that goal that you've not been able to achieve on your own. I want to help you I want 2024 to be the summer you finally see your abs, or at least the outline of your abs, for the first time in your life. I mean, why not? Age is not an excuse, I'll tell you that. Age is not an excuse. Don't let Patrick Mahomes shirtless scare you. That dude, that dude could absolutely have abs if he wanted to, but you know, because he's a pro athlete and he's active all day, he's just eating a lot of calories for performance. His job isn't to have a six-pack. His, his job is to be a great quarterback. And that gets into the whole having specific goals for yours, a specific plan for your specific goals. And that's what I help you do as a dad. Don't follow Patrick Mahomes' plan, because your goals are much different than Patrick Mahomes. Don't follow Usher's plan, because his plan was to go on a quick little routine before his halftime performance, right? You want to be healthy, you want to have energy, and you want to look your best and be the best version of yourself and a good steward of your temple. So if you want help doing that, DM me the word FaithFit and we can talk, all right? Hey, and also, I have a free resource if you'd like to check it out. I got a book called Fitness by Faith. I just finalized it within the past couple weeks. DM me the word book and I'll send you a free copy, and it has more about my story, my approach, and even has some sample workouts in it that I think you'll like. All right, so appreciate you guys watching. I am going to have a little snack, got a little consultation coming up, and we'll be back live Wednesday. Hope you guys have a good one.